everybody, I'm Paris, and this is Keep It Social, and it's time for Hot Takes. Today we're talking about everything from celebrities and their social media activism to miseducation around the Holocaust and Kamala Harris's footwear. And you know who's with me today to do that, my co-host Terrence and our good friend Marisa. How's it going, y'all?
Hey friends, how is everyone?
Hi you guys, thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for being with us. So Marisa, why don't you give us your hot take first?
Sure, I wanted to talk about today the StopHateForProfit campaign that's been going on this week. It's a group led by a group of 9 different social justice organizations that hope to hold Facebook accountable for the role they play in not moderating the misinformation, the hate, the posts that incite violence on their platform. So on Wednesday, a bunch of celebrities, including like Kim Kardashian West and Katy Perry, decided to mute themselves for the day from Facebook and Instagram, because Instagram's owned by Facebook, to bring awareness to this campaign in an attempt to get Facebook to hold themselves accountable for what they've done. And it's very interesting to me because it's very Black Square 2.0, because they posted a photo yesterday to announce that they would be taking a pause today. So it's only for 24 hours. It seems very empty. You know what I mean? It's like, great, awesome. Like I wouldn't have noticed if you hadn't announced it. So have you guys seen this on your pages?
Yeah, and you know what I really loved about this was when Kim Kardashian West posted about it. She was like, Skims, which is her like shapewear line, is going to be participating in this campaign. And also on Thursday, September 17th, we're going to be launching our new maternity line.
Right.
Thank you for watching.
I wish almost that someone like her, who makes so much money from Instagram, but also helps Instagram earn so much money, if she had said, I'm going to hold out from posting on her beauty company, KKW Beauty, all her many lines on there, if she could have just said, I'm going to hold out until they actually take action, rather than one day to raise awareness, I think it could have been much more effective.
I think that this is just a simple case of the fact that, society rewards individualistic choices, right? Like, I think that although these people are taking this stand, and although they are, showing their allyship on social, I mean, you both just said it, right? The fact that she talked about launching another part of her line, the day after, shows that although she wants to stop hate for profit, she doesn't want to stop the profit from running in her own pockets.
Right now.
So it's like I said, our society rewards individualism. And I think although she wants to look like she's socially aware, and she wants to take it to Facebook, she doesn't want to take it to Facebook so much that it hurts her pockets. And so, I like it, like it's cute, but is it really doing the work?
So Terrence, let's go to your take next.
Well, mine is a little more heavy. I saw this article in The Guardian that said about, most young adults in the US don't really know what the Holocaust is, how it happened, like how this moment in time really affected the course of not only, nations, but the world. You know what I mean? And it was shocking to me because I personally think that millennials and Gen Zers, like, we're more woke and more conscious, about social issues in particular, right? And so that really, really shocked me. And I think on one hand, we can always say that the educational system in America is not that great, because girl, it isn't. However, another point is that, social media is all about conspiracy theories. Social media is all about, denying and twisting truths and twisting histories, right? And in the report, it said that these young people saw swastikas, right? They saw these pictures, these images of what the Holocaust was, but some story around it was about denial, or it was deviating from what really happened, right? And so to them, to many of us, because I'm a millennial, we are all millennials, we know Gen Zers, right? Like, some of them are running with that. And it's kind of wild to me. It almost reminds me of when there was like this story going around that like slavery was a choice, and people didn't know like the history of enslavement. Yeah, and social media really gives people the space to make these conspiracy theories and run with it. I'm just shocked that, we're kind of buying into it because I thought we were a little more aware,
Totally.
Terrence, me too. I feel like the Holocaust was such a hallmark of my education. Like I can't remember a time, like maybe middle school, maybe before that, but it was an active part of my education. But I actually was reading today, in May, President Trump signed a law that to extend Holocaust education federally. And when I saw that, a few months ago, I was like, well, why does it need to do that? Because I received comprehensive education. I guess only 15 states require Holocaust education out of 50, which is nuts,
What?
And so when you leave it up, when you don't, mandate it, people are going to learn things from other people, from social media.
I'm like stuck on that, Marisa. So you mean that there's some places where it's not required at all?
Yes.
Wow.
Right.
So
there are a lot
when
of
it's not required, they hear about this thing. Oh, I'm going to see what this person's talking about. And when you have especially social media sites like Facebook, like we were talking about, aren't correctly moderating the spread of fake news, the spread of hateful anti-Semitism on their site, people are going to, of course, they're going to come into contact with something that's incorrect, and they're not going to know it's incorrect. So unfortunately, it's shocking to me, but I guess this is where we're at.
Hey, well, stay in school, people, and do your own research outside of that too. I mean, I'm always like, if you see something on the internet that's like, I don't know about that, you should research it. And there's a lot of historical information and data out there, and even fictional historical content that can help you learn about things like this. So you're not on your own, people. Well, let's round it out with my hot take, which is about Kamala Harris, the Democratic vice presidential nominee, and her shoes, because homegirl is styling and profiling, or at least that's what some of the internet thinks, because a couple weeks ago we were talking about her love for Chuck Taylors, and Chuck Taylors was trending because Kamala Harris like loves to wear Chuck Taylors, and her sister confirmed it. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Chuck Taylors is trending. This is definitely her shoe of choice, etc. And then today she's stepping out of the plane as she's going to check on the wildfires out west, and she's got on a pair of Timbs. And I was like, you know what? You look good in them Timbs, girl. But what about these policies? Can you stop on over these policies? It was my question. But anyway, what did y'all think?
I saw the Timbs and I saw the video too. And I was like, okay, Kamala, like work it. You know what I mean? Because I think seeing her in those Timbs in this relaxed state of like ownership, especially being a Black woman as the VP nominee, is just like, like, yes, girl, work. Just having that.
And Timbs are such a staple of like Black fashion as well.
Exactly. So it's that much more special, especially in this moment where we are seeing, so many Black people in general just torn down and, ripped apart. It seems like at every corner, right? To see this positive image of her taking ownership and just being in the moment and like, yes, I'm here. It worked for me.
Terrence, I couldn't agree more. I think what's really interesting about women in politics is that we've obviously never had a woman president. We've never had a female vice president. And so they're kind of inventing along the way what a major candidate is supposed to look like and what a woman in that role is supposed to dress like and wear, whereas men follow this kind of same tired uniform. And, it's, people would think like, oh, maybe it's sexist to talk about her shoe choices instead of, like Paris, you were saying, like her policies, but it's like, we can do both. And it is a power to be able to express herself in this new way and relate to voters with her footwear. Like I remember when AOC was kind of first coming out on the scene and she wore that like red Stilla lipstick and it sold out because people were like, I want to look like that kind of politician. I relate, or I wear the same lipstick, like maybe, you know what I mean? It's like a new way it's a power to be able to use your fashion sense. And it's not, like, let's just talk about her clothes because she's
Right.
So pretty and lady. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely. And let's hope that we see the policy to back it up, like you're saying. Well, Terrence, Marisa, and everyone watching, that's it for this edition of Hot Takes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to all our social channels and let us know what you'd like to see on the show or what your hot take is. We'll see you next time. And until then, Marisa, Terrence, what should they do?
Keep it social.